Rebecca, I just sent you a chat.
Okay, I'll try to resend it again.
Hey, Judge.
Hello.
George Dombart. I know you can't put on the mask. I don't have anything on the docket today, but I wanted to talk to you about a case that I just got hired on. And so I didn't have a Zoom thing, so I came down. But since I was talking with Mr. Zamora and I saw that you were on, but I didn't know if I could come back and talk to you or.
If you have a case numbers for us, if you mention this case number, the clerks will pull the file.
It's a 2019 CR 9380.
And what's the defendant's name?
Ramsey Gonzalez.
Okay, why do I remember
Judge,
this?
I sent him an email yesterday. I'm sorry to interrupt. I sent him an email yesterday. He wanted a motion to set bond on this case. I told him I was unable to present it to you because the defendant was arrested. Dan Rodriguez was on this case. He is hired on the MTR. Mr. Gonzalez is currently in jail. I'm unable to request him because he has to be quarantined for 2 weeks. I know you require for the defendant to be present on via Zoom. So he is unable to be present. So I told him the motion cannot be heard till maybe the 22nd until he's cleared.
Well, and that's what, I wanted to talk to you about, Judge. It's not an MTR. It's a case awaiting trial, I believe. But it was a situation in which he was originally set during the week of the snowstorm. And so the court was canceled. And then I guess the court either recalled it or reset the case to the 24th. And but the client says he never got notice. He was on GPS, Judge, and so the court issued a bond forfeiture for the failure to appear on Zoom.
Could I have the file on Ramsey Gonzalez, please? 2019 CR 9380. Thank you. All right, just give us a moment.
Sure, Judge. You want me to take a seat? And
Yes.
Judge, can I see you in the breakout room real quick, please?
Yes. I'll meet you in breakout room number 7. Norma, any ETAs on Wendy McClellan's client?
I keep calling the jail and they said they're bringing him up.
Like, what does that even,
He
like, I'm
said
trying to
they're
figure out,
having-
what does that mean? Is he coming from like another county?
I have no idea, maybe. Let me see. Let me call again.
Wendy, it's like when you go to a restaurant sometime and you just ordered a salad and you're like, are they growing the vegetables in the back?
It's Monday.
Yeah, it is.
Like you said, it's Monday.
It's Monday. Thank you for your patience.
Well, thank you for checking.
All right, and then we're waiting, Travis Kettner.
Yes, ma'am. I did talk to my client. I didn't see what transpired. I told him that we both have a responsibility to make sure that anybody that goes to court is in the right frame of mind, sober, etc. He assured me that it was a cigarette. If you would like for him, I told him that that's basically the impetus behind that court wanting to come down.
It shows that it's a cigarette, but
Okay.
the way he's
Well, that's a
behaving,
relief.
I
That's
don't
a
know who
relief.
would smoke a cigarette during the
Oh,
court
well.
when I made the announcement beforehand that he wasn't allowed to.
Yes, well, and that was obviously inappropriate. I was more concerned that it was something more serious, I guess, than a cigarette. But like I said, I didn't see it. So I think we've been trading our plea papers back and forth with the court and with Laura. I think hopefully we're pretty close to being ready.
Okay, awesome.
Knock on wood. We have our Monday run, right?
Yes. And Rebecca, I've signed that document.
Okay, thank you, Judge.
They're bringing him, Judge.
All right. Thank you. All right, so on Mr. Ramsey Gonzalez courtroom, could I have the attorney?
Yes, Your Honor.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, so with regards to your client, Mr. Ramsey,
Yes, Your Honor.
defense attorney was in contact with him and he knew to be here and he didn't show. And let me just tell you what's on the docketing sheet. And if you want to come back and get a copy of the docketing sheet, you're more than welcome to. So on September 1st, 2020, your client was a no-show. Then on September 14th, there was a new attorney. So I put him on GPS. And then on October 21st, it was to be recalled for October 22nd because the defendant was a no-show. October 22nd, your client was a no-show. So there was a bond forfeiture issued and he was remanded without bond. Then December 15th, he was remanded without bond because somebody else other than this court granted him a bond. And he was a no-show on December 15th. Then it was set for February 10th. And the defense attorney said he was unable to reach him for the hearing. So I said, okay, we're going to recall it for February 16th. Then that was the issue with regards to the storms and everything. So then it was recalled for February 24th. And the defense attorney got in contact with your client and actually talked to your client. And your client was, I'm at methadone clinic. And your client never showed up that entire day. So this will be set for a hearing. I will hear your hearing on setting him a bond, but for now it's not going to be set.
Okay, Your Honor. Yeah, because the one of the things that I was going to suggest in order to alleviate confusion on his part about appearances, because they had relayed to me that they were having difficulties with the Zoom, is that for all future appearances, he would be required to appear in person in the courtroom, and therefore there would be no dispute or doubt about his presence and failure to appear, Your Honor. I guess I'm just concerned because he's got several health issues, which my understanding are liver and kidney issues.
Which is probably related to the reason why he's getting methadone.
I wouldn't dispute that, Your Honor, but it doesn't erase the fact that he's supposed to be on the methadone daily, and he's been taking it daily for 20 years in combination with other medications. One of those is allopurinol, which I'm familiar with because, and I know that that's an expensive medication. It would cost me $400 a month, and I'm sure he's not being provided that at the jail. And
Well, here's the court's problem. Like, I understand what is going on with him. However, here's the court's problem. He has an assault family second offense, and he's not following the court's conditions. At some point, it's like, what can I do with that? I mean, I understand he has issues, but how many times can I remand somebody without bond and they're supposed to show up and they don't show up? How can I put somebody on GPS, which I put him on GPS, and he still won't show up for court? And then the day that he didn't show up where his attorney had contact with him, I told him, let him know he can come to the court or either he can be on Zoom. He did neither. And that was on February 24th. And here we are, March 1st, and it's only because he's in custody. So far, the experience with Mr. Gonzalez has been is that he only shows up when he's in custody. And then that's just for him to get a bond. I mean, how many times can somebody unremand him without bond for him to do what he should be doing?
And I understand that, Your Honor, and I'm not discounting what the court's saying, but I am somewhat sympathetic to my client because I think, it's not highly educated. I mean, they stated that they're having difficulties with the Zoom, and that's why I had suggested to them that I said that we just from now on that he would just appear in person in court, and that way there is absolutely zero confusion about how he's to appear, when he's to appear, and so forth. But I think that there's been a couple of attorneys. There's been there was first, I believe it was Robert Maurer was on the case, and then it went from Dan Rodriguez to Stephen Barrera and them, and my understanding is that they've had a dispute about whether or not the credit card was even processed, and they were actually retained on the case. And so, whereas they were saying that they hadn't received it, and my client's got proof that says she has proof that they did, and so forth. But there, and it's my hopes that, Your Honor, that now that I'm on the case, that I can resolve any issues about non-appearance and any confusions about appearance and the requirements to appear.
But here's the thing. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I'm internalizing what you're saying. But what you're saying, every attorney who has wanted the remand without bond lifted has said, and every defendant and every attorney that appears in this court, I always tell them, if your client cannot Zoom, then they can appear in court. There's never been an issue